All right, Baker Mayfield was not great in this football game against the Buffalo Bills. It was not all his fault. We will get into the other issues at play. There were definitely some issues that went on with him, so definitely plenty to talk about here. As a disappointing game, I mean, Mayfield did start off this season very hot. It did not work out too well, in this football game. So let's talk about the issues that happened. Let's start off with this play. So what's going to happen here is this should be a simple play, right? It's 2nd down and 15. You committed a penalty, which, it's kind of an issue that they can't really overcome these penalties. But okay, fine. You committed a penalty. The Bills are showing blitz, and Tampa Bay actually has a concept designed to beat this type of coverage. I know a lot of people are getting on Dave Canales, and listen, I'm not a huge fan of some of this stuff either, but, this is an execution play where you have to be able to gain some yards. You don't have to get the first down here, but you want to be able to gain some yards, make this a convertible 3rd down and 15. Baker Mayfield is going to take the snap, and I want you to pay attention to that block right there. This is Devin Tompkins. He's going to be the guy who's trying to make a block right here, and watch what's going to happen. I mean, he barely even slows the defensive back down, and there was another Bills player in the area, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal because, again, if it's a clean pass and catch, which it wasn't, that was another factor, but if you can get the clean pass and catch, you can get around and potentially gain some yards right there, but, not able to do that. So these are the simple things, I'm not asking you to go out and win on the outside against a good cornerback or anything like that. That's not what I'm asking you to do. You have to at least be able to do something like this, especially when we know, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are going to get attention. This is a great way to take advantage of that, but you have to be able to execute, and they're not being able to do so. Also, something like this, I mean, they got to find a way to get Mike Evans the ball more. I mean, it's a 1st down and 10. It's going to be zone coverage that the Bills are in. Watch as, Baker's going to take the snap. He sees that Mike Evans is just wide open on this play. So, I mean, again, this is a throw you have to make. Like, these have to be made. And Baker just missed it. I mean, no getting around it. He just missed it. There was another one where a little bit earlier, or actually it was a little later in the game, where Evans was also open. Mayfield missed the read on that one, and it was a read he could have seen. So, these are the plays you have to get. And to be honest, sometimes with Mike Evans, he's open one-on-one. Put the ball in an area where he can catch it. I said open one-on-one. What I meant is it's a one-on-one matchup, which means he's open, right? You got to do that. And honestly, there were moments when it could have been worse. So this was early on. I believe it was late in the first quarter where Tampa Bay, they just got that big 4th down stop. So, okay, here we go. Opportunity to try and drive this situation. It's 3rd down. So again, bit of a tough spot. You see the concept on the screen. The way these plays work is that if the defense covers deep, you throw underneath. If the defense covers underneath, you throw deep. That's the way the concept works. Very simple read. Watch as right when this play begins, you're going to see Mayfield looks down the field, and this is an obvious read. This is just an obvious read. You have to throw underneath right here. And this is something that drove me crazy a bit with Baker Mayfield when he was in Cleveland. Even when he was doing his best, he would still sometimes do this, and this is not a good play from Baker. Watch, he throws it, and that easily could have been an interception. It was also a pretty good pass, and that's also what kind of drives you crazy about Mayfield is it was a pretty accurate pass that nearly found a way to fit it through a impossible window, but he made things more difficult on himself. If you throw underneath, I don't know if you get the 1st down. I think you do, but I don't know. It's possible that you aren't able to do so, but you got to run the offense. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's your job as a quarterback. You have to be able to run the offense, and he missed that read and got lucky. If that was an interception, could have been really bad. Now, granted, it was a short punt. Bills got a touchdown anyway, so it didn't really change anything, even if it was an interception. But obviously, at the time, we don't know that. Also heading over here, this is going to be a 2nd down and 9 situation. This is just classic Buccaneers football, really, where it's going to be they ran the ball on 1st down, so now you have a 2nd down and 9 situation. As you see, it's going to be a high snap. Baker takes this, is able to get it, throws it out of bounds. I'm sorry, they got away with one. That should have been a grounding call. Mike Evans was not in the area. I mean, he was somewhat close. I'm sure all Buccaneers fans, including myself, were saying, Mike Evans was there. But he got away with one. There's no way that isn't grounding. But on top of this, then it was a 3rd down and 9, and in this situation, what they ended up doing was just designing a play to throw underneath to help out a field goal attempt, which was then blocked. And it's just so you run the ball, you make one mistake, And it really is the kind of thing where it's like this offense can't make mistakes. If this offense makes a mistake, they can't overcome it right now. Which is like, there are some offenses that are that way as well, but like some of those offenses don't make as many mistakes. Like that's the issue. They're a mistake-riddled offense that can't overcome mistakes, it feels like. Also this play, which is like this just another example of like, man, there's ways to get the ball down the field. Like, being down 14 with 13 minutes left shouldn't feel as big of a blowout as it is. It does, right? I mean, granted, okay, us Buccaneers fans had Tom Brady for a while, so we definitely were a little bit lucky in that respect of feeling like, down 14 with 5 minutes left, we have a chance, right? And including that Saints game when they were legitimately able to come back from down 2 scores with like that much time left. But still, it's like, this is possible. You can make something happen. Get a long drive here, and you can, work with this. It's a 3rd down and 4, though. You got to convert on 3rd downs. And it's really going to be Chris Godwin's route. That's kind of the main route to watch here. Watch as right when it begins, you see Godwin's open immediately. Now, granted, I believe Baker is actually looking at a route just past Godwin, but like, again, that's part of the problem, right? Is you have to look at the guy who's about to get open. You have to look at the right read, and while some of that is going to be luck, some of that is on Mayfield as well. You got to get to this read quickly. Watch how long it takes Mayfield to finally realize Godwin is open, and when he finally does, he nearly throws a pick on that play, and that would have been a game-sealing pick. Essentially, you've been down 3 scores. You're not coming back from that, right? So just an error from Mayfield to not get there quickly. There are yards on the table. And again, I'm being hard on Mayfield. It sucks, right? Because Mayfield, when he's at his best, is such a fun quarterback to watch. And he's absolutely capable of making plays, no doubt about it. But like, these are the plays you just can't make if you're Baker Mayfield. Like, these are the ones where, I guess I should say, these are the plays you have to make if you're going to beat good football teams. So yeah, I mean, listen, those first few games were just so much fun. It was very exciting. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it's gotten worse. It has. And you're starting to see why Mayfield has bounced around for several teams now. It has always been a consistency thing, and you can't help but think about Jameis Winston when thinking about this as someone who, when he's good, looks very good, but just can't consistently play that way. Granted, there were a lot of drops, and the Bills defense, I don't really know what to make of them. They're very good. They've been very good this year, but they also have a lot of injuries now. So, I mean, again, the Patriots offense looked significantly better than the Buccaneers offense looked in this one. So, I mean, it's hard to sit here and say that, like, the Buccaneers, it's just a good defense because, again, we've seen this now. It's just a frustrating loss, and the offense has to get it together. You can't, wait until there's, like, the game's almost over to finally get a drive going. Their 1 touchdown drive, that happened early on was a short field where they only had to, go like 20 yards to make it happen. And, you think about last week when they had the one big play to Mike Evans. That was their only touchdown drive of that game. And then the week prior, they didn't have a touchdown. So that's just, you can't win many football games doing that. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.